Okay, are we live? All right, it looks like we're live this time. Hello, everyone. I'm Professor McCoy. Welcome this evening to a game that's way too loud. Oh, God. Okay, I thought I fixed this last time. Don't worry, I'll fix it, guys. Don't worry. Anyway, hi, Michael. How you doing? Yeah, it's working. It's working this time. It does seem to be working. Here we go. Let me do this. There we go, because it's really super loud in here too. So it's just that the game is super loud. Anyway, sorry about this. Turn it down a little bit. I'm gonna play around with this a little bit here and there, but we'll see. Anyway, that'll do. Hi everyone. Welcome back, or welcome, as the case might be, to Ocarina of Time. Ooh, bracing for a blizzard. That sounds, quite frankly, to me, delightful, because I am Floridian and delusional. I have lived in the in the Great White Beaches of the South for 30-something years now, and so I really would just appreciate a change. You know, it's a pleasant 60 degrees out now tonight, and it's nice and cozy. I like for it to be much colder than that, but 60 degrees, that's something I'll have to live with, you know, because it's something. But anyway, Merry Christmas season, at least, by the way, in any case. You're at least still celebrating the Christmassiness. We've taken in our outside decorations. We still have our tree up. That's staying up until candles, for sure. Definitely. At least, we may forget to take it down, so it might be longer. Also, I rescued a neighbor's tree that's by the side yard that we're going to use for a bonfire in the back at some point soon. So when the storms die down, it's been pretty stormy these last few days, which, I mean, the whole country's been getting hit with anywhere from blizzards to sleet to us, just wind and rain, typical Florida stuff. But, you know. Good news is our new trampoline that kids got for Christmas has not blown away, so nice. Man. I remember. Okay, let's get into it. I don't have a. Okay, it didn't save my save file. Alright, fine. I remember. This was okay. So this was one of the first console games that I ever played. Because the N64 was my first home console. I actually got into gaming a little late for my age. Oh, let's read. In the vast deep forest of Hyrule, long have I served as the guardian spirit. I am known as the Deku Tree. Should I get closer to the microphone for this? I feel like I should. The tree. The children of the forest in the Kokiri live here with me. Not the the Kokiri. Each Kokiri has his or her own guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy. I should have named him Zelda. No, I'm not doing that. Don't make me do this. Don't be the bad meme. Lord. I should have named him either Lonk or Zorda, but oh well. I guess I'm not memeing on this playthrough. For shame. Really, for shame. Also, I love that this is a like a premonition, like straight up premonition. Because this is literally a cutscene from later on. It's fantastic. I don't think I actually realized that when I first played this, because when I first played this, it was really shortly after it came out. I think I was like 7, 8 years old, probably. I think I was 8 by the time I actually got around playing it. Maybe 8 or 9, something like that. It was great. It was, like I said, it was one of the first home console games I played. And man, it is... I was just blown away by the fact that there's such an adventure in a game. I didn't have the context to appreciate the incredible, like, 3D-ness of the environments and all that stuff. You know? Oh no. Copper Wool says, I forgot how awful the graphics are. In my head, they're so much better. Love it. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I still see it how my head saw it when I was 8 or whatever. Like, because I know it's all like super blocky, and yes, you can see through some of the environments because they clip in places when it does the fly cam thing. But like, also like the trees in the forest are just textured walls. but listen, it's still magical in here. Oh gosh. Copperwell says, yeah. This was an early console game for me as well. The story was astounding. It really was. It freaked me out a little bit too, especially the spoiler, I guess, Death of the Great Deku Tree. The game is almost 30 years old. It shouldn't need to be spoiled at this point. But the Death of the Great Deku Tree it freaked me out because, like I said, I was like 8 years old. And I had to stop playing for a few days. Like I had to okay, I'm gonna rent a different because I did eventually get it, but this was before I had it and I was just renting it. I had to go back and get a new version of the game after having it lapse and getting something else for a week or something. You know how Blockbuster works. I don't know. Do kids these days know how Blockbuster works? Anyway, Navi, come here. Oh Navi the fairy, listen to my words, the words of the Deku Tree. Dost thou sense it, the climate of evil descending upon this realm? Malevolent forces are even now mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long, the Kokiri Forest, the source of life, has stood as the barrier, deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. Michael, I know you're not that young. Are you? Are you actually a child? Like, I thought you were a grown-up. I thought you knew what Blockbuster was. See, here's the thing. I assume you're kidding, but I have no way of knowing. Like, kids these days have only seen the ancient ruins of something like Blockbuster. They have no idea. But before this tremendous evil power, even my power is as nothing. It seems the time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth. Navi, go now, find our young friend, and guide him to me. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navi, fly. The fate of the forest, nay, the world, depends upon thee. Okay, you do. Okay. I don't know how old all my internet friends are. Okay, so I make fun of some of you for being basically infants, and I assume some of you are my age, and I assume some of you are like 70. I don't know.
Hello.
Oh, yes. No, Copperwolf, I'm old enough to remember. Like, Blockbuster was a staple of my childhood, adolescence, and into adulthood. Like, I was still renting stuff from Blockbuster in high school. And I started renting things from Blockbuster before I can remember anything. Hollywood Video, too, was the other one near us. Yeah, you're 70 cents about right. That throws off some of Erica's plans, but we'll figure it out. Link. Hello, Link. Wake up! The Great Deku Tree wants to talk to you. Link, get up. Poke, poke, poke. Come on. And Hyrule's destiny really depend on such a lazy boy? It's just, I don't know. Maybe I might have been too young for this, because Link's 10. I started playing it a little bit before that. 10 is probably about when kids start, sleeping in. At least I hope. Gosh. Saoirse woke up this morning, the ass crack of dawn, and just went, Michael, are you awake? Just oh no. We hear this over the monitor, just in case something happens. We still got the baby monitor in their room. And we just hear this at, I don't even know. It was sunrise. The sun was still within the horizon. I was like, oh no, God. Please don't do this to him. He was up till 11 last night. He had tummy issues. Oh, gosh. Michael says, I don't think there was a Blockbuster in the town I grew up in. I had a very sheltered childhood. What a shame. It was quite the thing. It was basically, it was a lot like it was kind of like growing up with streaming, honestly. Like today. Like I assume what growing up with streaming must be like today. That it gives you a broader availability of stuff to watch. And to play, for that matter, too, because there was a huge video game section as well. Copperwolf says we had one called That's Entertainment, and they had free fresh popcorn and 7-day rentals. Nice. The dream? Yeah? Free popcorn. That's cool. That's neat. I like that. I like that as a touch. It's a neat little thing. I mean, our Blockbuster and our other little ones, they had to they had like snack sections and stuff, but the free fresh popcorn, I think there was one, I'm trying to remember what it was, but I think there was a video rental store that did that in Connecticut when I used to go up to, when I was a kid, when I used to go up and visit relatives in Connecticut like every year or so. There was stuff like that, and that was great. That was cool. It was nice. Anyway, I'm Navi the Fairy. The Great Deku Tree asked me to be your partner from now on. Nice to meet you. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. Let's get going right now. Okay. I might do some Link voices. I don't know. Probably not. Probably not much. He's a very quiet protagonist. He's the quiet protagonist. Ah. See, this is not quite as like homey as some of the later starting villages. Yahoo! Hi, Link. Hi, Saria. This isn't quite as homey as some of the later starting villages because it is very it's very kiddish. Because the Kokiri are all permanent children. They're little micro elves, right? But they're children of the forest, basically. And so it doesn't have the like cozy homeliness of something like Ordon Village from Twilight Princess, or even like Outset Island from Wind Waker. But it has the whimsicality and just the fun. Just like there's just like little like bridge things going around randomly for no good reason, just because. It's the whimsicality of Kokiri Forest and the little village is just, it's so nice. All right, let's hop down. Let's climb down. Link's house. Cool. Fighting a Dodongo with a sword. Okay, I'm gonna have to really get used to the camera controls because it's been a little while. Wow, a fairy! Finally, a fairy came to you, Link. Oh, that's great news. I'm so happy for you. Now you're a true Kokiri, Link. Is that right? The Great Deku Tree has summoned you? It's quite an honor to talk to the Great Deku Tree. I'll wait for you here. Get going. Go see the Great Deku Tree. A little repetitive, you know, but that's alright. That's okay. Yeah? Oops.
Listen.
There we go. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. Please come with me. What? Where? You're not gonna tell me, are you? That meanie Mido made me cut the grass at Saria's house. Mido told Saria he would do it, so she would like it. But I'm the one doing all the work. You and Saria are close friends, so will you help me cut the grass? I'll let you keep anything that you find while cutting it. Okay. Well, I gotta come back with a sword. They had to assume everyone would be playing Might Be Dumb. Repetition. It's repetition's a failsafe. Yeah. I mean, especially because this is rated E. This is rated E for everybody, and I was 8. I definitely was E when I first played this. So yeah, absolutely. See, I get it. I get it. Hey, you, Mr. No Fairy. What's your business with the Great Deku Tree? Without a fairy, you're not even a real man. What? You got a fairy? Say what? The Great Decutri actually summoned you. What? Why would he summon you and not the Great Mido? This isn't funny. Tap 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 tap. I don't believe it. You aren't even fully equipped yet. How do you think you're going to help the Great Decutri without both a sword and a shield ready? What? You're right. I don't have my equipment ready, but... Apple says, actually the graphics are similar to Rayman 2. Yeah, I mean, same console generation, right? Right? That was PlayStation 1, right? PS1? I think. If you want to pass through here, you should at least equip a sword and a shield. Sheesh! Oop. Oh, man. Forgot I can only slow swim. The shop. Stepping stones in the pond. Tutorial. I'm not going to read the tutorials. Oops, missed. I need to get... I really desperately need to get better at that. And also get used to not... Oops, rupees. I also really desperately need to get used to not using my other stick to try and look. Because it's going to start using items, because that's my C-stick. Loving the Brooklyn interpretation? Oh, yeah, of course. Oh, you played on PC. Oh my god, I forgot that PC games even came out back then. Like, to me, PC gaming didn't really start until... Gosh. Like, I didn't get into PC gaming until college. Not really. There's nothing in any of these rocks. This is such a ripoff. Like, usually when I go out in real life and I just go break rocks, like, money starts falling out. I don't know what's going on here. The House of the Great Mido, boss of the Kokiri. It was your first video game ever. What are math games? Rayman 1 on PC. Oh my gosh. Got a GameCube and Ocarina of Time. Oh, did you get this disc? Because this is, by the way, this is from the collector's edition that came with the original Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. That's what this is currently emulating. It's all more tutorials, isn't it? Yeah, it's tutorials. I assume this is how I get my sword. Hole of L. Oh, yeah, okay, it's a tutorial. Yeah, I know. Okay. Okay, that's it. It just gives me 2. Okay, 2 is not bad. Alright, that should be enough to get me a shield. At least I hope. Because I would like a shield before going in there, I think. If I remember right. Yeah. Let's go up there. Okay, that doesn't work. Nope, just Ocarina of Time. Was it Master Quest? Because I never actually got that one. Because Master Quest was the one that I think was just Ocarina of Time, and it was a bit of a graphical upgrade, not much. And it had, like, a higher difficulty level or something. There's a difficulty level setting thing. Hi, Crumbling Sanity. No. Okay, so asking if this is the first time you're playing this game. No, I played it when it came out. I played it when it came out on GameCube. I played it when it came out on 3DS. So it's the first time playing this in, like, 6 years. Which for a game this old is not, I mean, not that long. Anyway, welcome regardless. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Wind Waker demo, yeah. I do have, I think I have an emulator of Wind Waker too, so we might, I'm not against playing it on stream, it's just a little bit, it's a little bit explory, so I'm gonna have a lot of dead time to just kind of chat while I'm sailing across the Great Sea, you know? We'll see. Hee, you came all the way up here? You're a real man. Look, isn't this view pretty? Change your viewpoint with tutorial. Thanks. I'm gonna go to the shop, which is there. Ah, look this way. Okay. Look over here with tutorial. Hi. That's how you use a fairy. I do actually like that they integrate the fairy into the lock-on controls. That is pretty cool. Can I skip all this? Yeah, thank you. I do kind of like that. That's why it only makes sense to go adventuring if you have a fairy, because otherwise you're not gonna be able to do it. 40 rupees? Are you serious? Okay. Shop, it sells things. You can get blah 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 blah. The Master Quest thing was just this one. Okay, okay. I wasn't sure if Master Quest also came with Majora's Mask, or if it included like a remake or anything of Majora's Mask. Not a remake, obviously, but like a remaster or something. Because I never had it. I never had the Master Quest one. This is the one I had. Plus, I mean, it had Wind Waker as well. I played the heck out of Wind Waker. I think I beat it like 3 or 4 times. I never got the Wind Waker for... What was it? What did it come out on later? It was a re-release. I don't remember. I did also play the heck out of Twilight Princess. That was the other one that I've... Okay, so actually that's not true. There are 3 Zelda games that I bought several versions of. Majora's Mask as well as this one. Same release order. I played it. I bought it, played it, and beat it. I'm not going to go with the last ones. Bought it, played it, and beat it on N64. I bought it, played it, and beat it on this disc, and also on 3DS when it came out. And then the other one that I've played multiple times on multiple consoles was Twilight Princess, which I got when it first came out for the Wii. It was a release title for Wii. It was great. And then when they sort of remastered it for Wii U, that's it. Wii U, I got that one. Which nobody got a Wii U, but it was. I mean, it was obviously like a transition between the Wii and what came out after the Switch. But still great. It's still a pretty good console. Can't really complain. Okay, yeah, I know this. Okay, I'm gonna go right after the rock. Duck to the side. Grab this rupee. Wait for the rock again. Go after the rock. Go up here. Visit the house of Know-It-All Brothers. I won't. Oh yeah, Chrome Xanadu says, honestly, they had it out for the GameCube too. They just never commercialized it like they did with the Wii. Kind of scummy if you ask me, because the way I saw it, they were trying to force you to buy the new console to buy the game. Yeah, and it was there were differences, but the differences weren't that extreme. I mean, obviously there was the one massive aesthetic difference that the Wii version was mirrored to the GameCube version because Link's right-handed, assuming that you're right-handed, right? Assuming you, the player, is right-handed. Oh, geez, that's a little laggy. Yeah, there we go. God, I forgot this screen. Oh, this is... Yeah, I'll save. Forgot it prompts you, too. Oh, man. Nice. Still need more rupees, kind of. Yeah, I bet it's rare, actually, now that you think about it. Now that I think about that, yeah, that makes sense. I will say, though, there was nothing wrong with it. It was the Wii version was a significant graphical step up. I remember that from the time. But yeah. How do I put away? There we go. Forgot how to do that. Oh, you checked out some of the prices for the game. The highest you see him is somebody selling it for like $45,000. That's absurd. I believe it though, given how rare that game's release was, and honestly, given how limited Nintendo releases are and how hard it is to find used copies of Nintendo games, I don't have trouble believing that. Not at all. It's crazy, but it does make a certain kind of twisted sense. I mean, yeah, like $100. That is good for a collector's edition of a game that you would buy, that you'd actually buy and actually play. 45,000 is something that you are a dedicated collector and you have it on a wall. That's the only reason to pay that kind of money for it. Like your collection is basically a private museum. All right, do you want me to cut that one too? You and Sorry are close friends. Yeah, I'd love to cut it. Can I? Can you move? I cut the... Alright, whatever. That was ridiculous. I'm still short on rubies. That obviously doesn't work, but... By the way, don't do that with a sword. By the way, don't just don't. Like, if you have a sword, please don't hit rocks with it. One, you will literally destroy your sword. And two, maybe more importantly, it's actually really dangerous. Like it can create things like sparks and like rock shards and stuff like that will go into your eyes and will put an eye out. Very much in the expected sort of way of small Kokiri child playing with sword. By chance, Common Sanity asks, by chance, did you hear about the one person that's remaking the entirety of this game using Unreal Engine 5? Oh, I saw something about this pretty recently. Every time a new really cool like dev toolset comes out, whether it's an engine or whether it is a mod, like a mod system or whatever, people remake old Nintendo games mostly, just because there are no remakes of old Nintendo games, with rare exceptions. But yeah, no, that looks really cool. You've been hearing a lot. I can break your vases though. Yeah. Oh my god, the walls are all on texture. This is a little bit painful. That is a 2D texture of a shelf. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Yeah, that's really cool. That is really cool. Okay, I have 40. Now I have over 40. I'm good. I can go to the shop now. Okay. Hey. Yeah, Crumbling Sentence says, yeah, little passion projects like that are kind of nice, but they never end up getting finished. Yeah, I mean, either they don't get finished, or they get cease and desisted. The most notable cease and desist one that I was so disappointed by, oh my gosh, I can't tell you how disappointed I was Operon, the fan remaster of Knights of the Old Republic, which got axed by Disney. Because it was going to be a free mod for KOTOR, so you had to have the game, and then it was a mod you could download. It was going to be free. They weren't making money off of it. And it was a complete total conversion mod. It looked so good, and it was close to done. It was like 3/4 of the way done. And they were to the point where they were doing early testing and stuff. Like I don't think they were doing alpha testing yet, but they were doing like in-house testing of things of major game components, and they canceled it because Disney, through EA, was planning a remaster or a remake, I'm not sure which, of KOTOR 1. They never did it. They've since canceled the project, and yet Apiron is now just like almost complete and just sitting there. It's never going to get touched again. I hate that so much. Anyway, let's buy a shit. Yes, please. Oh my god, that sound. Oh, the I got a cool thing sound. I love it. It's like, it's one of those things where I was, no, that's all I can afford. Where I was thinking about, maybe waiting until the remake came out, to play KOTOR on a stream, and I'm really glad I didn't wait. Just because, obviously, if I had waited, I'd have been waiting forever. Which really just terribly disappointing, you know? Can I prep this one? I'm gonna have to come back in 7 years and do it, aren't I? Anyway. Hey, Claire. No, you're fine. No worries. Yeah, the sound design. The sound design in this game is so good. Actually, before I continue, somebody remind me about awesome sound design, and I'll know what I was going to talk about. But as I was saying, right, so I was really hesitant to play KOTOR, knowing that they were, well, thinking they were going to do a remaster or remake, because I had just streamed the Mass Effect trilogy on stream. It was one of the first things I did when I started streaming for this channel, and very shortly after, like almost, I think I was most of the way through Mass Effect 3. I had almost finished the trilogy when the Legendary Edition came out. And I'm just like, I just finished it. I'm not going to do it again. I might one of these days, though. I might go through and just replay through the trilogy in the Legendary Edition. Maybe even on stream. It's been like 4 years now, so... I mean, 3-ish since I finished it, but still. It's been a while. I don't know. Somebody let me know if that'd be interesting, if you want to see me do that again. I can make slightly different choices. Very slightly. Oh, gosh. Yeah, so Sam, covering entities and then. So, yeah, it's... Speaking of the, there are people speculating the person in question doing the remake is waiting for Nintendo to do the cease and desist so he can clean his hand the project. I mean, he's working on it 8 to 10 years. There's bugs all over. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Older games are really hard to remaster because they were cobbled together. And because the people who cobbled them together are not working for the companies anymore, so at least not mostly. And so it's really hard to sort of recreate all the ridiculousness of old code games like this. If you want to see the Great Deku Tree, you should at least equip a sword and shit. Yeah, I know. Come on, Mako. Yeah, what's that? Oh, you have a Deku shield. And what's that? Is that the Kokiri sword? Good grief. Well, even with all that stuff, a wimp is still a wimp, huh? I, the Great Mido, will never accept you as one of us. Shoot. How did you get to be the favorite of Saria and the Great Deku Tree, huh? Grumble, grumble. Oh, this guy. Oh, jeez. Forgot. These exist. I got a stick! Yay! Alright, I'm gonna, first of all, increase text speed because it's driving me insane. Second of all, no, I'm gonna put it on. Oh, jeez. My X and Y buttons are inverted because I'm using an Xbox controller. Frick. Alright, whatever, it's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, as an outsider, I mean, recreating something is a little bit different from trying to, you know, build it, or rebuild it, reuse old code and assets and such. God, I almost died. Claire said the same reaction to my boys have when they find sticks outside. I found a stick! Absolutely. Wait, where's settings? Do I have to go to the main menu? Like, to the game menu? Like, do I have to save and quit? I don't want to do that. Ah, jeez. Okay, fine. Whatever. I can't increase text speed. Can I not? Or, I forget in this game, can you do that? Great Deku Tree. I'm back! Oh, I should be speaking faster because this is Navi. Chrome Insanity. Yeah, the game looks pretty dang great, but once you start playing it, you can see the flaws immediately. You have to do... you do have people fanboying over the game a lot. And idiots tend to nitpick. Yeah, certain parts of the game make it look better than actually it is. Yeah, that's true. That is true. And I mean, look, the game was great. The game was amazing. But it was still an N64 game from 1998. So it's not like this is, like... It's not a modern AAA title, obviously. The thing fit on an N64 cartridge. You know? Which, you know, I could put on a micro SD card and still have room for the rest of the N64 catalog. Come on. It's, depending on the micro SD card, I guess, but still, like, it's an old game, and it plays like an old game, so of course it is. It's gonna have holes, it's gonna have issues, but man, for what it was, if you are playing it with that in mind, it's still fantastic. Like I mean, honestly, I've been pointing out things already, like the weird textures in the walls, and like how almost every conversation is a tutorial, and that actually doesn't stop here in Kokiri Forest. Like, that is kind of throughout the game. Like, everybody's conversations are telling you about something, like specifically for gameplay purposes, which is fine for game design purposes, but weird world building wise, which modern games have kind of moved away from that. Like, let me put it this way: a modern title would never, ever in a million years tell you controls in dialogue. Absolutely not. But every game before 2000 did it. Absolutely every single one. So, I don't know. Back when the mind used to play role in video games? Yeah, it did. It really did.
Link, welcome. Listen carefully to what I, the great Deku Tree, am about to tell thee. Thy slumber these past moons must have been restless and full of nightmares. As the servants of evil gain strength, a vile climate pervades the land and causes nightmares to those sensitive to it. Verily thou hast felt it. Link, the time has come to test thy courage.
Thine? Shouldn't it be thine? I don't know. Looks like a 70s dad. Yeah, I agree.
I have been cursed. I need you to break the curse with your wisdom and courage.
What, is he supposed to get 2 Triforces now? What is this? He's supposed to just have courage. Anyway.
Dost thou have courage enough to undertake this task?
I love how you can just say no. That's just... Yes.
Then enter, brave Link, and thou too, Navi. Navi the fairy, thou must aid Link. And Link, when Navi speaks, you...
I can't do it! Oh, God. I can't do it. I can't say that. Use up C to listen. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't do this. Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah, he kind of does look like the dad from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. As a kid, this was still the best game ever, Claire says. I never considered the textures back then. I appreciated the tutorial dialogue, because I was a girl who didn't know how to play games. Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, this was one of the first video games I ever played. Like, it was... Gosh, I played a few games on the Game Boy Color, which was my first console. So I'd played most of Pokemon Blue before I got to this, and a few other things, a few other like minor games, like little like party game kind of things. Then on N64, the only game The only major game I played before this was Donkey Kong 64, which was the one I got the N64 that came with like packaged with it. It was the green one. It's really cool. I think I still have it somewhere. But that I played before this, and so I was used to the sort of adventure game kind of thing, but only a little bit. And the controls were wildly different, and all kinds of stuff like that. Like you can jump in that game, stuff like that, you know. But yeah, I do love it. I do love it. Claire says my brother and I learned it together. This is our first big game too. Yeah, and it wasn't really my first, because I did play Pokemon first, which is it's still like an adventure RPG. And I did play Donkey Kong 64 first, but that's radically different from this game. I think I played Mario 64 around the same time as this one. Like, once I bought this one, I started renting Mario 64, that kind of thing. Which, to be fair, was older, but that one's more formatted like DK64 was. The level-by-level kind of design. But yeah, I never had an SNES or NES. I got into gaming, excuse me, at what I think is a relatively reasonable age of like 8 or 9, rather than because I was born in '91. For those of you who want to do math. Ooh, Copperwolf, great question. Okay, so beyond appealing to the consumer demographic, meaning like marketing the game to kids, or any reason you think child hero is such a thing, what is specific to a kid that lines up with heroism? Okay, this game does the thematics of this so perfectly. It's incredible because of the transition from child to adult. We're getting way ahead of ourselves here, and I was going to talk about it then. But that's in like 8 or 9 weeks. I don't even know. So we'll get to it now first, and I'll sort of allude forward to it. But I think that this game is the perfect game to talk about that for, because it part of the hero's journey is especially as it's instantiated in our real lives, is the journey to maturity. And the starting point for a journey to maturity is obviously the immature. It's obviously the child, the naive, the optimistic, the whimsical child. And so this game starts you off as the kid, just the kid. You know, you're just the kid. You've got some troubles, but they're far away. Then the troubles come home. Already, like the great Decutri is dying. The troubles have come home. The troubles have come to find us. But they're still kid troubles, right? You're going and playing in the tree, and you're fighting spiders, and they're serious because your dad, more or less, your dad died, and that's a big deal. But it's not the same kind of trouble that you get into as an adult, or the same kind of trouble you have to confront as an adult. So when you go to confront the world, you gradually learn the difficulties of the world. And you gradually learn to confront them, and that's part of the development of the hero. And having a hero as a child, learning in that way, it kind of exemplifies the journey that we all go on growing up, but it dramatizes it. It turns it into a myth rather than a simple accounting of our lives. So I think that in this game especially, because the troubles get so much worse and so much darker and so much more horrendous and difficult as an adult. And then even, I forget, somebody pointed this out, some video essayist, you know the type, pointed out that even when you go back to being a child, like to go to the bottom of the well and the Spirit Temple stuff, right? I don't remember where, but that stuff. Even there, you recognize that the tragedies and difficulties of the world were right there. They were there, but you as a child didn't notice them. But now that you've gotten this adult perspective and then returned back to your own world, now you see the difficulties. And this is like going back to your hometown as a grown-up, right? You notice things you hadn't before because now you're a grown-up. You're seeing it through different eyes that have seen the world. And it's just, God, so much of that kind of symbolism is just throughout this entire game. It's so good. It's just, and yes, Copperwolf, whimsy. We were talking about whimsy last week when we were we were playing a Harry Potter game, because Harry Potter does exactly the same thing. Harry needs to gradually grow up He starts with, school trouble, and then by the seventh book, his 7th year, by his last year in school, he's not in school anymore. He's wandering a desolate world, fighting a war, And he's 17 years old, which, a lot of people have been 17 years old going off to war. But they've gradually grown up into it, just like the Harry Potter version. And you know what? Link is 17 years old, I think. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure he's 17 years old after the Temple of Time. Adult Link is 17. So, yeah. Uprule says, interesting. So child heroes, sorry. I've got warriors on the mind, I guess. Child heroes are a way to mythologize our own experience of growing up. Yeah, I think so. I think that's about right. Maybe to cope with and understand some of the grief that can come with that. Yeah, I think so. Because that's what mythology does. Right? Mythology takes something that we all experience and it makes a universal story of it. It takes that part of our very different, very individual experiences. It takes the various bits and pieces of all of our individual stories. It abstracts it away, takes what's common to it all, and embeds that within a story that we can tell, to learn. Right? And yeah, myth definitely, like you said, myth explains experience. It does, because it takes, to put it in Platonist terms, what a myth does, as distinct from just a narrative, from a story, right? A good myth, instead of going, here's something that happens, I'm going to tell a story about that, right? That's imitation of the world. A myth elevates. So it takes the individual bits and pieces and experiences that everyone has, it universalizes those experiences, and then it recontextualizes them to one particular story. And that makes a myth, again, in a Platonic sense, just as real, or maybe even slightly more real, because it applies universally, than any real particular experience. So it's really about reality in the same way that my life is about reality. Because it's not just an imitation of one particularity, it's an imitation of that which is universal to every particularity. So it's a particular story, just like my life is a particular story, just like your life is a different particular story. Just like Link's life is a particular story, it's not just an imitation of what can happen in reality. And again, I think this whole difference, it kind of explains something I've talked about to somebody. I forget what context I was talking about this. It might have been on stream, it might have just been like on the Discord or whatever, I don't know. But I was talking about how I just have, like, I get bored instantaneously by mundane stories about the real world. I can only realistically be entertained these days by speculative fiction, by sci-fi and fantasy. And it's because it is so abstracted away from the particulars of our world. If I wanted to experience a story about, like, I don't know, going to work, I would go to work, right? Like, I've lost interest even in things like workplace comedies that I can still get some level of comedic entertainment just because of simply because of the delivery of the characters and things like that. Even from shows that I've loved for a really long time, like these kinds of like workplace sitcoms and things like that. But it doesn't have the appeal to me anymore like it used to, because it's just an imitation of a particular reality, rather than a reinstantiation, a mythologizing of common experience like science fiction and fantasy are. Yeah, anyway, that's part of why I like speculative fiction, fantasy literature so very much, is because it takes on this character of hyper-reality in a way that more realistic stories don't. Oh, good, the happy music's back. I'm gonna run around the Great Deku Tree and get some more sticks. Gotta get more sticks. More sticks. More sticks. Current time is 12 o'clock. Oh, wait. Is that supposed to tell you the system time? Because it might not ever work. I'm gonna have to play with that a little bit. Top World says, okay, theory. Child hero tales. Lead kids forward by plotting a possible future. And helps ground an adult by bringing the gaps between innocence and responsibility, creating a plot thread. Yes, but I hesitate to say that, especially the first part. I like the connection between innocence and responsibility. I do like that. And I'll add as well that child stories can be far more dramatic as well, because children are more innocent and then also more vulnerable. Yeah. I got a nut. I'm gonna throw it at somebody, said the child at the park. Oh gosh. You know what, honestly, this is another one of those games that I have to, like, I have to dangle as a reward for Saoirse learning to read, because I think she'd love it. The kind of adventure in this game Saoirse would love. But anyway, yeah, so the first part of what you said, Copperwolf. So, plotting a possible future. I don't know. I don't know how possible this future is. You know, I don't quite think that. I don't quite think that. That, you know, going into the giant tree to. Oops. Oops. That's not good. I need help. I need hearts. I forgot that this game is kind of hard. Look, Link. You can see down below this web using this. Oops. Oh god, my controls are inverted. I forgot. My look controls are inverted. Yeah, there's water down there. Ah, I see. All right, let's climb, I guess. Look at this wall; it's climbable. I know. So if they don't lead kids, what do you think their effect is for youth? They do lead in one sense, but I don't. Okay, so I don't want to discount your idea, right? What I want to do is to just sort of hesitate to take it too straightforwardly, because I think what they do is they show kids how to grow, primarily how to grow in virtue, right? And I think that is honestly as important or more important. Actually, wait, let's put that there. Let's switch these. Let's save. Why not? Is this the slingshot? It might be. No, it's the map. Okay. I think I need the slingshot in order to get past the Skulltulas, if I remember right. It's been a while, you know? Anyway, this is a sub-boss, isn't it? And open a door by I know! Navi, come on. This is why everyone was annoyed by Navi. This is it. It isn't the, hey, listen, just win the overworld. It's this, the tutorial stuff. Anyway, Copperwolf says plotting, as in demonstrating the gradual acceptance of responsibility and giving them memories and mental pictures or mental patterns to recall and imitate when facing troubles in real life. Yeah, I think so. I'd like to put it in terms of growing in virtue, but yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it, right? That's a more psychological way of putting it, but it works. And then also something like, I've talked about this before in a video that I'll actually link. I'll put a link to it in the description after the stream's over. The video is called Plato's Guide to RPGs. If you want to find it on the channel, it is there. But I'll link to it after the fact, in case you haven't seen it. Where I talk about how gaming, I particularly talk about RPGs, and I refer to tabletops and things like that in the context of what Plato has to say primarily about drama and acting. And I point out that acting, play acting, or participating in a game like this can serve as a kind of mental rehearsal, right? I, a mild-mannered academic, don't have many opportunities in my real life to be particularly courageous, you know? But when I'm going into the boss chamber, aha, forgive me, master. If I give you a clue, will you let me go? Yeah, just I'm talking. But like wandering boldly into the boss chamber, that's an act of courage that I can practice in this safe context. And particularly if I'm a kid practicing courage, that's awesome. Because I can do that playing outside, I can do that playing a game, I can do that playing tabletop, I can do that whatever, right? But it's important to practice it for when that virtue does become important in real life. And I think that games are a great way of doing that, especially if they're played well, right? If you play a good character well. If you play good and well, let's put it that way. Yeah, Uproll says, yeah, I'd agree with that. Possible future to me doesn't mean literally. It means more like a future version of themselves. Okay, yeah, in that case, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'm on board with that. I mean, look, kids can envision themselves as Link, right? Or even more so, as Link growing up. When I grow up, I want to be like Link when he grows up. And so, that means that I have to be like Link now. When I'm 8, when I'm 10, I can be like Link. So that I know that when I grow up, I can be like the hero of time, right? Hero mythology does this. It provides moral exemplars. It's fantastic. I know this. Why do you... Thanks. I'm not going to read all this. Basically, you can roll when you hit the ground and not die. Which is nice, but, like... Okay. Keep going. Oh, fascinating. That's not great. Rupees. Then again, you can also do this in a bad way, where I would just, grab bladed objects and or sticks and chop away at the grass in hopes of finding money. So, I did that when I was a kid too, and that's maybe not ideal. But Uproll says, oh man, a quote from Paul Frenchname that fits this game so well. Time becomes human time to the extent that it is organized after the manner of a narrative. Okay, yeah, absolutely. I love it. I love that. That's absolutely right. That's in line with something else I've also talked about. Hold on. I'm gonna write it down. Another video that I'll highly recommend, where I point out that there's a weird parallelism between a few niche members of the sort of Catholic pagan scholastic tradition. And I point especially to Duns Scotus and J.R.R. Tolkien, who both hold to this idea that creativity, the act of genuine creation, is fundamental to humanity, and more particularly, it's fundamental to the Imago Dei. Oops. There we go. Oops, I should have saved. I'm gonna save. But if you haven't seen it, it's something about Tolkien and Scotus, creativity or something like that. I forget the title of that one. Oh, a heart! Yay. But yeah, it is worth checking out. Hi, Navi. Look, something's hanging up there. It looks like an old ladder. I bet I can... Yeah, I can. Cool. It's great. It's a good video, I think. and it goes into this this point about how SCOTUS in particular, but I mean Tolkien follows this, that that the Imago Dei is fundamentally about our capacity for creation. Right? Tolkien refers to it as subcreation, but we don't need to. It is a genuine act of creativity, of creating in like manner to God. SCOTUS even points out, God, I wish I could find the passage that he talks about this, because it's freaking brilliant. I'll find it eventually, but he makes the point that we our acts of our any act really, any action that we do, any voluntary or spontaneous action that we do, is in the same sense that God's act of creation is ex nihilo. So are our actions. Any choice that we make, any voluntary free choice that we make, is fundamentally an act of creatio ex nihilo. Now that is a weird thing to say, because we are often led to believe that only God creates from nothing, right? But I disagree. I think that we all create from nothing. What are you? A big Skulltula. Get down. Come on. Gotcha. Oh, yeah, okay, go. I'm not going to be referring to Skulltulas as Skulltulas, just so you know. That was a one-time thing. Oh, jeez, I'm gonna have to... switch! Nice. Compass? I assume compass. Yeah. Cool. But yeah, any action that we do is, in Anselm's terms, which are very similar to SCOTUS's, any action that we do is spontaneous, because it has no causal origin beyond ourselves. I hate the inverted controls for this. It's just terrible. You're not gonna... Okay, fine. Oh, okay. Come on, let me lock onto you. Jesus. Okay. Oh, I have to do the thing. I see. Okay, cool. Okay, that opens the door. Okay, now I can go back across here. There we go. Ow, really? I got a gold Skulltula token. Those are for something later. Okay. Oh good, that's the heart I lost. Okay, man. Alright. Anyway, so Kremlin Sanity said, so am I saying that the any choice we make, a human being will have some effect on the world itself, almost like creating a route you'd see in visual novels. Kind of? Don't think of it as creating something in the sense of, like... don't think of it as creating in the sense of, like making something, right? Not necessarily. The better way of thinking of it is that the action itself is what you are creating, right? And because you're acting when you do something, when you choose to do something, especially if you choose freely to do something. Right, so you choose freely to do something, right? Oh boy, whee! Another stick. But if you choose freely to do something, you are, in effect, creating an action, right? The action that you do the action you choose to do is something that you are creating that would not have existed in the world had you not done it, right? So if I, for example, maybe a weird example, but one that I like to use a lot in teaching, if I, say, make a cup of coffee, not only have I made the coffee, right, in a really distant sense. I didn't make the coffee ex nihilo. I didn't just click my fingers or think my thoughts and the coffee appears, right? It's not like I created the coffee like God creates the coffee. It's not like that. What I have created from nothing is my act of making the coffee. If we distinguish creation from making, right? I can make the coffee. I create the action of making the coffee. And that has has no antecedent determining cause. Now, I don't say it has no antecedent cause whatsoever, because that would mean that it's I don't know, fully uncaused, right? Which doesn't work. Right? There's issues with coherence of, say, an object being uncaused. Oh, come on. I'm gonna have to jump. Okay, I think I can get this anyway. There we go. There's issues with an object or or an action, either way, being uncaused, fully uncaused. Okay, didn't need that. Because if something were uncaused, it wouldn't happen, right? It's just that the cause is entirely, we would say, internal to or within the self. Oh, it burned up the stick, darn it. My poor stick. Up. Please forgive me, Master. I'll give you some tutorials. You'll never meet my brothers instead, unless you punish them in the proper order. Ooh. 2, 3, 1. I think I can remember that, right? We can remember that. 23 is number 1. We can remember that, right? I was about to write it down, but then I realized, like, wait, I don't actually need to do that. We're fine. Oh man, I missed. There we go. I mean, yes, he is 100% a traitor, but, you know, it's fine. We're the good guys. Link is the good man. Fine if he's a traitor. After you get into the water, you hold down A, you can dive. I bet there are some interesting things underwater. Like a switch. I see a switch. That is going to lower the water level? Maybe? Yeah, that was right. Oh, it's time limited. Great, I didn't realize. I'm dumb. I know, it's a block, I can move it. I know, I'm very big and strong. I'm a big, strong lad. I can do it. mean, yeah, okay, there we go. That's all you really needed to say was pay attention to what the action icon says. I mean, you have your control buttons at the top of the screen. They're carefully labeled. I'm gonna have to hold the button though. Anyway. But yeah, so yeah, it's... Yay, no. All right. Okay, cool. All right, I have maximum sticks. Love having maximum sticks. Crumbling Sanity says, like any number... Oh, okay, so... Like you were talking about earlier, like you said, you're not creating anything. So it would be more like a cause and effect sort of deal, like, because you decided to make the choice to make the coffee, you now get to drink it, you accidentally spill it on yourself because it's too hot, etc. Yes, but the point SCOTUS is making is that the choice is the thing you are creating, right? The action is created ex nihilo in the same way that God creates the world ex nihilo, from nothing, right? It's not... He's trying to get across the point here, primarily. One, that we imitate God in our 3 acts of creation. But then also, 2, the... oh, good night, Copperwolf. See ya. See you next time. But 2, the other point that he's really, really trying to emphasize is that our actions are free, voluntary, spontaneous actions are not determined by antecedent causes. They're only determined by our choice, right? Our choice is the only determining factor for any action that we do. Oh, right, yeah, that's hit your front. Sorry. Heyo. I see that. Those likes? What the heck are those? They're gross. Those are gross. I don't like them. Just die already, thing. Ow, really? What are these things? Goma larvae, that's what they are. Ever noticed those in the game? Yeah, they're not likes. Yeah. I was thinking they might have been like likes that are just getting ready to drop down on you or something, but instead, no, they're Goma larvae that are getting ready to drop down on you. Which, you know, understandable, I suppose. They're spooters. Spooters do that. I didn't need to do that, like, at all. Is this a door, or am I just... I'm just there. Okay, that's a dead end. That's what that is. There we go. Yeah. Also, likes don't show up until much later in the game. I don't know why I was thinking they were likes, because that's... Because, yeah, fine, they're iconic Zelda baddie things. They do not show up until... I don't think until you're an adult. I don't think they show up until the Water Temple. I could be wrong about that. Hold I'm playing with incense, if you'll forgive my distraction. All right, there we go. So it is also one of my favorite games. It might be my favorite, but it's got competition, obviously, but I love it. I absolutely love it. Is it the fire temple? Oh, jeez. Just die! I'm awful. I'm really bad. I need to get better. I need to just get good. I need to get much gooder. Wait, no. Oh, you got your save file to 100%. Oh, man. Nice. Very nice. Yay! Alright, I think I know how to do this. Nuts! I need hearts, not nuts. Don't need nuts. Come on. Fetch. Oops. Oh, jeez. Duh. That may not have been wise. Is there a climb down? Yeah, there's a climb down. Oh, gross. Well, at least it's water. Oh, didn't need to dive. Okay. Ooh, favorite temple. Okay. You're 3, right? You look like 3. Nope. Darn it, wrong. I got it wrong. It's 2, 3, 1. How could I forget this? Reset, please. Deku Scrub. That was wrong. Okay. There we go. There we go. Got him! How did you know our secret? How irritating! So annoying that I'm going to reveal the secret of Queen Goma to you. Why would you... There, whatever. Not gonna question it. Not gonna question it. It's fine. It makes sense if you really don't think about it. Yeah, Spirit Temple is nice. I really like the Forest Temple. I think the Forest Temple might be my favorite in Ocarina. I really like Forest Temple. It definitely, the Forest Temple, I think I also definitely have to say, I'm pretty sure it has the best music out of the temples. And the design is just, it's very nice. Very nice. Shadow's fun. Shadow's fun, I will say. It was a lot of fun. That one was probably the Shadow Temple was probably the funnest as far as just like level design, just like it was neat. It was a good time going through it. I mean, annoying too, but funnest. Forest Temple is probably my favorite as far as just in general, design-wise, aesthetics, layout, all kind of stuff. Oh yeah, Wall Masters, yeah, that added some horror and some annoyance to the Shadow Temple. It was great. I wonder if anyone has ever said Water Temple. I will say, I know Erica made Erica. By the way, my wife Erica, who is not, I don't think she's in the chat right now. I think she might be doing something else, more important maybe. But she is a she runs D&D quite a bit. I do too, but she does so professionally. Like people pay her to play D&D. She runs games, and in her own homebrew world, she designed a temple, a dungeon basically, closely based on the Water Temple, but with some neat little gameplay mechanical twists. And man, it was fun. I happened to be jumping and playing a character for a little while in one of these games when she ran this part last time. It's so cool. It was so fun. It was a great one. And man, it was just as difficult and convoluted and wacky as you remember the Water Temple being. So no, it was great. It was really neat to do in a D&D setting, especially when you have the different resources. And she accounted for like what different kinds of things to do. I don't have. So it was a virtual tabletop thing. So I think she actually might have rebuilt it and redesigned it for a new for the current game she's running. She's running another game in that same setting, a new campaign with different players and all that right now. Luke's not here. One of her players sometimes watches, so if you're here, Luke, hi, you're about to get to this point. In like, I don't know, 3 to 6 weeks, you're gonna get to this. And it's gonna be great. Oh, it is rebuilt in Foundry. Awesome. Great. It was very, very cool. The last time when I played it, it was great. It was very cool. It was really well laid out, and I like the changes that were done to make it work for D&D, because obviously D&D player characters are capable of doing very different things than Link with his weird equipment set. So it took some finagling and a bit of redesigning, but I think it turned out great. Oh god, that's right. You played it up. We played it on Roll20. Oh Jesus. Remember Roll20? I feel like I'm saying, do you remember Blockbuster at this point? But Foundry, by the way, if you play D&D, and especially if you run D&D and you use a virtual tabletop, Foundry is probably our favorite. Ooh, geez. Okay, so Crumbling Sanity asks, how much preparation does it usually take for your average D&D session? It depends. On the one hand, so I'm running a game now and planning a campaign for the future currently. The game I'm running is not D&D, it is Star Wars. And that the game for that is tomorrow night. We're playing tomorrow night, right? My prep time for that was about an hour to an hour and a half, something like that. And I did it a few days ago. It's all done. Basically, I just needed to find maps and images and put together some stat blocks and write down a handful of notes. Right. But that is because that was a limited amount of prep time, right? Because I already had the overall plot plotted out months ago. If you're going to do more of an adventure of the week kind of thing, so if you're, this week the player characters are going to go fight this monster at this place, you're going to need more prep time for it because you need to build everything up, right? If you're running something out of a pre-written module, it's less time, but it still takes a good amount of time to if you're using a VTT, you need to build it, right? Build the maps in and stuff like that. And then also you need to really familiarize yourself with all the stat blocks and all the monsters and all the story beats and stuff like that, so you don't miss anything, right? Eric is also running a Curse of Strahd game right now, which I'm in, and she's doing a lot of that part of that kind of prep, right? Everything's built already. Like when she started the game, everything was built. But every time when we do play, she's got to make sure that everything is all set up, everything is ready, and she knows what is going on. Which, oh yeah, that too. Yeah, if you're running Curse of Strahd, you're going to spend a lot of prep time, mostly because you need to fix the book, because Wizards of the Coast can't write books well. Cannot write adventure modules very well. Yeah. I will say Curse of Strahd, while it is one of the funner D&D adventures, it is one of the worst written campaign guides I've ever seen. Because I've run it too, and it's, oh my god, it's horrible. It's so bad. You have to do so much work for yourself. It's nuts. Anyway, though, so a lot of it depends, right? And that said, also, the game I'm getting ready for to run in a few months, I'm building my own homebrew world from the ground up, which takes a tremendous amount of time. So maybe don't do that, especially if you're new. Like if you're new to the game, if you're new to playing, especially if you're new to DMing, don't make a homebrew world. Just play in a pre-established world, whether that's Forgotten Realms. If you're more familiar with it, you can play in Greyhawk, or you can play in Dragonlance or whatever, or hell, play in Star Wars. That works really well because there's information on every dot there is in the night sky. Has extensive information about what's there at what time period, so depending on when you're playing and all that. So I just said, oh, we're stopping at Romamul. Oh, Okay, what year is it? Okay, those two planets are really close to each other, and so because they tend to go to war with each other often, there's an Imperial ship between them keeping the peace. There you go. Deal with that. That's 2 weeks ago. That's what happened a couple weeks ago. Right? Actually, little more than 2 weeks, but right before Christmas. They ran into an Imperial ship that was preventing a civil war, and they're fugitives. So yay! That was cool. That was great. It was fun. It was a good time. But yeah, a lot of it depends on a lot of it. So you need it takes a lot of prep time, at least as much time preparing as running the game. But you can front load a lot of it. If you prepare a lot right near the beginning of your campaign, a lot of stuff can just sort of play out. There are times when I will prep something, I'll prep like a chunk all at once because it's all in my mind, it's all together. I have all the maps and stuff ready, and I just make it. And then I barely have to prep anything for like 3-4 weeks because players are slow. I guarantee you, player characters are slower than you think getting through content. So there you go. There's some advice if you are wanting to run D&D. I absolutely recommend it. It's a hell of a lot of fun. You did have 2 Jedi helping, yes, but you killed most of the crew of an arrestor cruiser, Cantwell class arrestor cruiser. So that's a thing. You guys, not even the Jedi, like you guys killed like 100 people. It's crazy. You almost died, but all of you almost, not all of you, like a couple of you almost died, but whatever, it was fine. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. That was a fun couple of sessions. Okay, so wait, I need to go back up. Crumbling Sanity said, I only ask as most of the people I talk to about this make it seem like it's always going to take a crap load of time to set things up. Like I said, assume about as much time as you're playing. You can get away with doing less, especially if you're good at improvising things, and if you do things like if you have random roll tables and things, if you're ready to do that kind of stuff, it's a lot easier. Or if you don't have to have a map for everything. Like if there's a bunch of encounters that you can be ready with, where you don't have to like, well, here's our terrain and here's our map and here's our. If you can run an encounter either Theater of the Mind or with ready-made maps, it's a lot easier to prep. So like I said, a lot of it can be front-loaded. Yes, that crew is basically murder hobos because they're a bunch of criminals in the Outer Rim in 14 BBY. So. Yeah, it's 5 years after the rise of the Empire, and you're all a bunch of criminals on the run from every law there is. So, Crumbling Sanity asked about Baldur's Gate. So, speaking D related, if you guys are into it, do you play Baldur's Gate by any chance? I've played it about the equivalent of one full playthrough, give or take. Probably a little more than that. I haven't finished it because I played almost all the way through. Basically, got to the part with the Temple of Shar. I won't say more about that, but got to the Temple of Shar in Act 3 in Baldur's Gate. And I had some game bugs, and I transferred my game to a new hard drive and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna out with it. I don't feel like fixing everything. I'm gonna start over. So I started over with a new character. First one I was playing a bard, who's the same character I'm playing in Curse of Strahd. That was fun. Now I'm playing a warlock, who is an old character I've played before. Criminal background. He's a criminal who just took a deal with a fae, with Rumpelstiltskin. And so he, he's great. I love blaster wizards, even though he's a warlock. A lot of fun. And there, I basically just got into Act 3. I just got into Baldur's Gate, into the lower city. The proper lower city. So I'm a little bit into Act 3. So I've got the whole Seal Watcher thing to deal with. I've got I just did the Baldur's Gate Gazette, the newspaper thingy. But I got a bunch of stuff still in Act 3 to do around the city. But that's where I am in that playthrough. I'm familiar enough with the rest of it. I follow a lot of the memes. Yeah, I haven't played it on stream yet. Originally because there was no way my computer could handle it. I just recently upgraded a good deal of my machine. Got a new motherboard, new CPU, bunch more RAM, the kind of stuff you need to stream games. In fact, if you watch my, even if you go back and see any of my my Hogwarts Legacy streams that just ended last week, I just finished that up last week. The first half or so of those streams were chugging along desperately on my old machine, and then the upgrade, suddenly my graphic settings go up like crazy. Suddenly my NPC populations go up like crazy, and suddenly I'm not lagging all of the time, and audio syncing is right and stuff like that. It's like, oh man, this is such an improvement. But yeah, I didn't think I could reasonably stream Baldur's Gate 3. I could now. I probably could now. Assuming I turn nudity off. Anyway, but yeah. And I'm ready with a horny bonk screen. Anyway, yeah, no, it is a good game. I think it might be a bit too slow and also a bit more in depth, a bit too in depth for the kind of streaming that I do. Which you'll notice right now, what I'm doing right now is just talking about stuff and burning some incense. And I've been sitting here talking to this Deku Scrub for 10 minutes. I do this fairly often. So, this is the kind of thing that I don't know if Baldur's Gate 3 would be very conducive to, because it's all turn-based combat, and so a single combat could take a whole stream at this rate. So, it could be the kind of game that for a full playthrough, we'd be going for like 2 years. And so I don't know if I'm committed to that. Yeah, I'd have to have the no horny bonk overlay like through 2/3 of the game. So I mean, it's not that bad, but it's close. Anyway, I love the turn-based combat. Don't get me wrong, love it. Yeah, that is, and also, yeah, as Erica said, yes, that is it. It just perfectly captures the spirit of real D&D. Okay, so strike Goma while she's stunned. Oh, Queenie, sorry. Also, just like real D&D, the weird little dudes worship a giant spider. Oh, this is the boss room. Cool. I didn't realize we were at the boss room already. Where's our map? Let me make sure I didn't miss any treasure. I didn't miss any treasure. Wait, what's the most epic thing you've ever heard? That a single combat could take a whole stream? Or we're talking about Lolth worshippers? Or I'm immensely entertained by the like. This reminds me that just for some reason reminded me of a little scene from Baldur's Gate in Grim, right? The Dwerger city. Where there's these spiders that are absolutists, that are absolute cultists, and these the giant spiders. And if you cast Speak with Animals, you can chat with them and convince them to go basically to just abandon the absolute and abandon these Dwerger and go join a drow city and worship Lolth, because it's illegal to harm a spider in drow society because of the Lolth thing. I don't like this. I don't like this. Also, by the way, this freaked me out as a kid too, because I was, and slightly am, less than I was, but I was extremely arachnophobic. You coming over? Yeah, there we go. It is good. Now, don't get me wrong. I forget how to do this. Oh, that's out. Okay, that's out. Got it. Oh, it only took 2 times. Okay, cool. I will say, Baldur's Gate 3 is a lot like real D&D, with the caveat that because it's a video game, a lot of the roleplay interaction is fairly limited, especially if you're used to playing D&D with a really good DM. It is very limited, and that can be frustrating at times. Because, dialogue options kind of thing. And I will say, like, the game is great by most video game standards in terms of, like, having lots of dialogue options and having a lot of contextual dialogue options. Because of the unvoiced protagonist, you can get away with doing that. But still, it's still very restrictive, and that can get in the way of that can even get in the way of quest design sometimes. So keep that in mind. It's not the same as a really playing D&D. It's as close as you could probably get in video game form, but it's not quite the same. It's not the same. Rubies. I wanted those. Okay. Yeah, Michael agreed. Yeah, it's good. It's a good video game simulacrum of D&D. But yeah, still rather be playing actual D&D. Yeah, I think so. I think so too. I do like the tactical combat. It is good, but it's not quite the same. Crumbling Sanity says that makes sense because I assume it's true that in D&D you can practically do anything you want as long as you get a high enough roll and everything. I don't know much about the game. Kind of. I mean, you can realistically put it this way. In actual D&D, you or your character, whichever, can try anything. And then the dice and or the DM and or the world decide whether you succeed or not. In that sense, it's like real life. In real life, you can try anything, right? I could, like, I don't know, I could try to go down to Key West and swim to Cuba. There's no number I can roll on that athletics check to actually do it, though, right? So in actual D&D, yes, you can totally just try absolutely anything. And a good DM will say, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And you'll say, "Yes." And then they'll say, "Okay, you don't need to roll. It doesn't work." Or they might roll, and if you roll high enough, say trying to swim across the ocean, someone will rescue you if you roll high enough. For example, they might have you roll a charisma check instead of like an athletics charisma check instead of a strength check. Not to see if you can actually swim the distance, because no, you can't. That's ridiculous. But see if while you're swimming, you can successfully call for help. It's something like that. That's the kind of thing you can't really replicate in a video game because, yes, they can account for the fact that players are crazy and are going to do crazy, wacky things. And there are a lot of those crazy, wacky things where it's like, why would you do that? But it's an option. It's on the dialogue option. It's on the dialogue tree. Like you happen across like a dead spider, giant spider corpse in the back of some creature's lair. Basically, it's unfinished meal. One of the options on the list of options is lick it. I'm just like, yeah, that is the kind of thing that once in a while a player would do. So I'm glad to see it there. But why? Why would you do that? There's no good reason to do that. The narrator treats it like that too, but like just like the DM would. But it's not with quite the same level of disbelief as a player character just going, I wonder if I could figure out how long the spider's been dead. Can I taste it? Like, you could see that happening at a table in a little bit different way, and you could see the DM being genuinely mystified that why the hell would this happen? That's a little bit of a different experience than, oh, cool, one of the dialogue options here is the insane option, right? It's different, right? It's similar, but substantially different. Yeah, Sandy says, oh darn. So moves like that, you said aren't really possible, but it's something you could probably do for a gag. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, that's the thing too. It's like a good DM will work with the players for what they want to try to do. And a good player will act in character with what their character would actually try and do in the proper context. Um, no, to some degree, being aware of their skills and aware of their abilities. Whereas, a lot of times, a character might do something, might try to do something they know is impossible, right? Or they ought to know is impossible. And the DM's got to be like, the DM and the player should realistically both know that and be like, that's not, you can't actually do that, right? And you would say, yes, but I would still try, or my character would still try. Um, should I roll something to see how it turns out, or something like that? And the DM will come up with something to determine how the results go, right? So if for some reason, like, if you wanted to fight the big bad evil guy, the main villain, when he shows up to monologue to you in like the beginning of the game, and your point is, yes, you know what? My character is a paladin. He is lawful good. This is clearly an evil lich that must be destroyed. I know that our characters are level 2, and I know that if we actually fought, the big bad would absolutely kill us with no hesitation, and there'd be no chance of survival. But my character would absolutely attack anyway. That kind of communication there is excellent. It's perfect. It's exactly the kind of thing that you would see in a real game of D&D. And then the DM has to decide, okay, how does that turn out? Does the villain just kill you? Does the villain take something from you? Does the villain like admire and respect your tenacity? Like how would that have to go? Right? So in that sense, it's kind of it's the DM working with the story that you're telling and explaining how the world reacts to what you're doing, because the world is a consistent world. Because some villains, if you do that, if you like try and beat up the bad guy, he will just kill you. But sometimes they might not. They might respect the fact that you're attacking them, beat you to hell, and have your friends take you away, and or hell, he might offer you a position in his army, and then when you deny him, then he'll kill you or something like that. So it could go in all sorts of different ways, based on the world, based on how the world works, based on how the characters work. Sanity says, interesting. So, for example, the spider thing, right? If I acted and wanted to suplex a spider, yeah, it wouldn't normally be possible. But I imagine your character had enough strength it could. Yeah, right. There are things that are really, really difficult, right? I actually don't know if Fifth Edition has modifiers for number of limbs, but I know older editions had you got a positive modifier if you had extra limbs for things like grappling. So spiders are really good at grappling in older editions because they got 8 legs. And so, yeah, it's really, really hard to wrestle a spider. But you might be able to do it. Right? It might be possible. And if it is possible, either by the numbers or whatever, you'd set a relatively high DC. You have to roll pretty high, but maybe you could accomplish it. Now, maybe it wouldn't work so well in the long run, because once you've suplexed the spider, its fangs are pretty near your neck, and that might not end well next turn. But you've got it grappled. It's holding still. Maybe your friends can now kill it as it's trying to eat your face off, right? Something like that. So it's very D&D is very, honestly, all tabletop RPGs are very open-ended, right, in terms of what you can do, because it is a sort of there's two ways of looking at it, and they kind of coincide in a lot of ways. There's you can think of it as a kind of a way of sort of collaborative storytelling. The DM is telling part of the story, you the player are telling part of the story, and the dice are just to sort of figure out whether your character could do something or not, or whether the bad guys or the world could do something or not. Another way of looking at it is as a simulation, right? So you are playing a character that is interacting with a simulated world, and that world works in certain ways that are relatively predictable. And the DM's job is to make the world work, right? Is to provide the setting for the story that you're playing through. But yeah, no, it's great. It's a hell of a lot of fun. I would say, first of all, play a character before you try and DM at least once. But then also don't be afraid to DM. Don't be afraid to jump into it. Like it seems intimidating, but but especially if you're playing within a pre-established world, because you can just look up what that town is or whatever that they're about to get to, but that sort of thing. It's it's easier and a lot more fun than you might be afraid it is. So yeah, don't be afraid to. Like I said, I'd recommend playing first, like playing a character first. But then, I mean, even if it's just a one shot, once you get a feel for it, and then if you're willing to get a handle on the rules and figure out how the game works and want to run it, go for it. Go for it. Everyone is always looking for somebody to run a game for them. Everybody's always looking for a DM. So by all means, go for it. It's a lot of fun. Or if you want to start as a player, I don't think Eric is actually taking on players right now, but keep an eye out. Go and jump in the Discord server. It's linked right there. So jump in the Discord server, and you'll find out if Eric is open to new players or something like that. So there you go. Yeah. So you said that you can see now why you play the game. Yeah. No, God, it's a lot of fun. In a lot of the ways that I was talking about, any kind of gaming can be. So I mean, in particular, because it's so open-ended, that gives it this additional level of potential interestingness, let's say. Sandy says, shoot, that's the best and funniest way to get into things, just diving in and see what happens. Yeah. No, that's what I did. Like my first tabletop gaming foray was in high school. I think the first one I did was a Star Wars tabletop that went insane. It was absolutely madhouse. It was absolutely madness because none of us really knew the rules of the system too well, and all of us knew Star Wars quite well, and so we were like, okay, no, this is how something like this would vaguely go, and so we were trying to just sort of stumble our way through the nonsense. But one of our characters basically just got disintegrated because he decided to use a wrist rocket launcher in an enclosed airlock, and he disintegrated himself basically because he took splash damage from it. So that happened. But that's what would happen if you shot a rocket at someone who's adjacent to you. You know? Oh gosh. So it's that kind of stuff. It's that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun. It's great because you can tell those stories or those sorts of things. And you know what? Yes, in real life, somebody might panic and just blow themselves up in a really tense situation. Yeah, could happen. All right, so let's see what's going on.
Well done, Link.
I'm really glad I turned on headphones audio, but
Thou hast verily demonstrated thy courage. I knew that thou wouldst be able to carry out my wishes. Now I have yet more to tell ye. Wouldst thou listen?
Nah, I'm going home. Yes, sir. Can't get over the mustache face. I mean, yeah. How else do you make a tree look like a person without a face, without like mustache or beard or something? You know, think of tree beard. And all the ants really, they've got moss.
Yes. Now listen carefully. A wicked man of the desert cast this dreadful curse on me. He put a spider in my root system.
This is the part that kind of freaked me out as a kid. This and the whole context of it.
The evil man ceaselessly uses his vile sorcerer's powers in his search for the sacred realm that is connected to Hyrule. Trying to get this incense going. Hold on a second. Give me a moment. Oh, no. It's almost out. There we go. For it is that sacred realm that one will find the divine relic, the Triforce, which contains the essence of the gods.
Hey, Liam. Welcome.
Before time began, before spirits and life existed, 3 golden goddesses descended upon the chaos that was Hyrule. Din, the goddess of power, Nairu, the goddess of wisdom. And Faror, the goddess of courage.
They do like look like gold words, don't they? Yeah, kind of. It's really something what they can do with such limited graphics. This is really cool. Oh, you just got done with campaign. Cool. Awesome.
Din. With her strong flaming arms, she cultivated the land and created the Red Earth. Nairu poured her wisdom into the earth and gave the spirit of law to the world. Faror. The rich soil produced all the life forms who would uphold the law. The three great goddesses, their labors completed, departed for the heavens, and golden sacred triangles remained at the point where the goddesses left the world. Since then, the sacred triangles have become the basis of our world's providence, and the resting place of the triangles has become the sacred realm.
First time being a DM. Awesome. I love seeing new DMs. It's like a graduation ceremony, you know?
Thou must never allow the desert man in black armor to lay his hands on the sacred Triforce.
Danny says, this entire situation would be scary for anyone. The entire fate of the world has been put entirely in a kid's hands. Big things are expected of him. Yeah, I think that's part of it that really got to me. And it was also like the death of the Deku Tree after it felt like because it felt like the whole first dungeon, the whole point was to save the Great Deku Tree, right? And then him dying anyway, afterwards, it felt like it was a kind of hopelessness about the world that really got to me as a kid. You know? It's cool. It really does speak to the seriousness and the danger of the situation and of the world. Oh, come on. Very much in line with kind of the child hero kind of stuff that we were talking about earlier. There we go. That's gonna have to be the last little bit of incense, I think. Last bit of the night. Oh yeah, Liam, you like Majora's Mask better. I think I probably do too. Yeah, I think I probably do too. I probably like Majora's Mask better, if for no other reason than I think I like the design of the Gilded Sword more than the design of the Master Sword. Like, hold on. That game, Majora's Mask, really began my lifelong love and almost obsession with leaf-bladed swords. So, this sort of thing. I don't know how well you can see this on camera. But swords that begin relatively narrow, widen out in the middle third, and then taper to a stopping point. This is a Starfire, by the way. It's a stage combat sword. Very nice make. Very high quality, but consistent quality as well. But like that profile, that blade profile is just, oh god, I love it so much. Love that so much. And I'm pretty sure Majora's Mask really started me on my love for leaf blade swords. Gently prop it up there. There we go. No. So no. By the way, just to clarify, I could not carve a turkey with this thing because it is dull as the day is long, and that is entirely the point. This is a stage combat sword. So this is for like fighting on stage with other people, and so it is a very wide and very, see if you, there it is sideways, how thick that bad boy is. This is actually a slightly unbalanced sword because it's got a very broad blade, even up to the end, which it does have a bit of a distal taper, but not as much as it probably ought to for a sword this size. And that's for safety reasons. So if you do, give somebody a nice little jab, it's not going to accidentally run somebody through as you're stage fencing them. So no, not that one. That one is not one I could carve a turkey with. So, I got a couple of properly sharpened swords, but not that one. That's not one of them. But that is my absolute favorite blade profile. I absolutely love the leaf blade shape because it gives first of all it has that tapering profile that gets a really good stab. It has that weight, that nice weight balance that gives really good strength in the cut for a lighter sword. And I do love how huge the Bigoron sword is. Yeah, it's a little absurd, but I kind of dig it. Also, the father figure of the Great Deku Tree. I mean, look at him. 70s dad, right? Yeah, that the Great Deku Tree dying before you go set off on your adventure, a big deal. Sanity asks, actually, don't you need some kind of license to carry around a sword? To actually carry around an actual sword? Not in Florida. So in Florida, you don't need a license to carry a blade, a fixed blade, like a bladed weapon, so long as one, it's open carried. So if I were to, for some reason and somehow conceal this, that might cause legal trouble. So that's one thing. And so long as you are not brandishing or threatening with it. Because I've actually taken, not this one, but one over there, another one. I've taken a couple of swords to class to teach, to use as examples for things. And there's nothing intrinsically illegal about that, because again, Florida, it's okay. The whole fixed blade thing is you can carry around a sword basically. The intention for that is you can carry a hunting knife if you're going hunting or fishing. Right? That's the idea. That you can just put one on your belt and it's not a problem. That's the intention behind that being perfectly fine. But it does apply to swords, that you can in fact wear a sword on your belt, just going about your day-to-day life. Florida's cool, man. I love it here. The reputation of Florida man is absolutely 100% right.
Thou must never suffer that man with his evil heart to enter the sacred realm of legend. That evil man who cast the death curse upon me and sapped my power.
Liam says, I just have a ton of swords. I just have a love of swords that can fuck something up with one swing. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I prefer the smaller, precise kind of thing. A couple of my favorite swords are that one, which is basically, this is a very thin one-handed arming sword, more or less. My other favorite swords are a jian, a Chinese jian, and a three-edged small sword, a triangular bladed three-edged small sword. The cold steel one, I think made it. Those are probably the favorite swords that I own. Not because they're big and beefy, but because they're light, they're tiny, and they're very precise. I've always been a sort of precision fighter. If I were in D&D, I would have weapon finesse. I'd have finesse weapons, kind of stuff. That's always been my preference. Sanity says, it's kind of scary though. There was a clip I saw of this homeless man who was carrying around a whole axe. I don't think anyone did anything about it. Yeah, no, not really. I mean, again, well, it's the brandishing and threatening thing that is a big deal. Like, yeah, you can carry around an axe, but if you're like swinging it about, or if you threaten somebody and even have the axe on you, that's considered threatening. Right? It's basically an escalation of conflict that gets into legal trouble, right? And it can very quickly escalate to assault with a deadly weapon if you're not going nuts. But yeah, if you're just kind of carrying around an axe, I mean, there are perfectly legitimate reasons to be carrying around an axe. There are also perfectly illegitimate reasons to be carrying around an axe. Like, I mean, I've got a woodcutting axe. I've always thought it would be fun to just, like, wear a trench coat and just carry it around the neighborhood. See how many cops I get called on me. I'm not going to do that because I don't want the cops called on me, but it would be fun. Um, or just go for a very fast run. Just run as fast as I can, just carrying the axe, just sprinting down the sidewalk in the middle of the night. That'd be a great time. Great time. Excellent. Not gonna do that. But because I'm not one to usually actually disturb peace. But it'd be neat. Yeah, Liam says I love homebrewing for D&D. Yes, absolutely. I'm actually working on a fully fleshed out setting. Erica, my wonderful wife, is currently editing the first version of the setting guide that I'm going to be using with my players the first time through. First time through running it in a couple of months, probably. And eventually, I'm planning on having it for sale as a PDF, or maybe even print on demand. I don't know. I might do it through DM's Guild or whatever. But or even just I don't know through GoFundMe or something. I don't know. But I'm thinking about actually publishing the thing, and it could be good. It could be nice. I like the setting that I'm coming up with, but everybody likes homebrew in the world. So, well, no, okay, that's not true. For a lot of people, it's tedious, but everybody likes elements of it, certainly. So anyway, that is again that's one of the things I was mentioning earlier that I've been doing. I've already been doing a ton of prep for a game that I am not even running for a few months, but that's what I'm doing. I'm basically homebrewing the world that the thing is set in. In my new campaign, wands are loaded like guns with little magic cells that detonate when spells cast. Oh, cool. I've seen things like that. I think there's a version of something like that in the Eberron setting. I could be wrong. But there's something like that. Sanity says I shall be taking my leave for tonight. All right. Thanks for stopping in. See you next time. Hope to see you again. I stream either Mondays or Wednesdays, depending on schedule stuff. Not usually both. I tried both this week, but Monday failed, as you may have noticed. But yeah, so thanks for stopping in. I'll see you around. Let's see.
Because of that curse, my end is nigh. Though your valiant efforts to break the curse were successful, I was doomed before you started.
See, this is the thing that really freaked me out. The inevitability of the death of the Decutri, just like there's something really dark and sinister about that.
Yes, I will pass away soon, but do not grieve for me. I have been able to tell you of these important matters. This is Hyrule's final hope.
Who's sitting for all of that? Oh, come on, Link.
Link, go now to Hyrule Castle. There thou wilt surely meet the Princess of Destiny. Take this stone with you, the stone that man wanted so much that he cast the curse on me.
Magic. Yeah, Liam, yeah, same. This just like all of this just deeply disturbed me as a kid. I had to stop playing for a little while, like I told you. I mentioned earlier. Like it's the inevitability of it, you know. Okiri's Emerald. This is the spiritual stone forest, now entrusted to you by the great Decutri.
The future depends upon thee, Link. Thou art courageous. Navi the Fairy, help Link to carry out my will. I entreat ye, Navi. Good. Bye.
We even get to see him just wither away. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough, man. I mean, especially, Link is what, 10? And a lot of us were like, 8 or 10 when we played this. Goodbye, great Decutri. So, man, kind of understanding how hard this hits. Oops, not that. how hard this hit us as players, it really speaks to how hard this must have hit Link, the character. Hey, Link, what'd you do? The great Deku Tree, did he die? How could you do a thing like that? It's all your fault. I'm just gonna get out of your way. Just go on ahead. Get out of here. Oh man, you're like 6. Yeah, I bet that would mess you up. Like I said, I think I was 8, maybe 9. I was like 7 or 8 when it came out, but I didn't play it right when it came out. I played it a little bit afterwards. Is there any of this I actually need? No, there's not. I don't need any of this. I'm good. Maida was very upset. Did something happen to him? Not to him. And yet we still have the nice, pleasant, happy, whimsical music going. Oh man, you only own this after playing Majora's Mask. Man. That's weird. That's gotta be weird. I mean, like, I played this before I played Majora's Mask. I think you probably should. I've also, played both of them, like, a lot. Saria? I thought this was Saria's house. I've also played both of them a lot. Like I mentioned, I mentioned at the beginning that I got this on N64 when it first came out. I got this on, and Majora's Mask as well. I got this version, which is the GameCube disc, the collector's edition GameCube disc, with the original Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, Adventure of Link, this one, and Majora's Mask, all together on the same disc. And then I got both of them on their 3DS remasters. I beat them, both of them, on all 3 times, because they're so great. They're just excellent, excellent games. Honestly, the 3DS version is way better, like control-wise and a little bit graphics-wise. It's a graphics upgrade, but the differences in the controls are really noticeable. Link, are you going to go away? Yeah, we're sorry. I needed to tell her I'm leaving. House of Twins. Twins. Oh, this is Saria's house. This is right. Alright, let's see. Hearts. But no Saria. We run into her on the way out, right? I think. Anyway, yeah, let's get out of here. With the other twin. What? Where are you going? To the castle? Where is the castle? I don't know. Good question. Let's go find out, shall we? Kiri will die if we leave the forest. You're not going to try to leave the forest, are you? I am. I hope I don't die. Forest folk shall not leave these woods. Except for me. I am now to... Not now, I'm soon to find out that I'm not actually a Kokiri. Oh, you're leaving. I knew that you would leave the forest someday, Link. Because you're different from me and my friends. Michael, this side doesn't apply to me because I can't read. You got like 99.9% of the game in the first playthrough. Good. I mean, the older games were more of a challenge to 100% by a great deal. Because they weren't just like random ass collectibles, like unlock every item location, every location on your map and on your Assassin's Creed style map, because every Ubisoft game does that nowadays, like stuff like that. These were legitimate like side quests and collectibles and hidden little corners of the game that were actually deliberately carefully crafted, not just, yeah, you have to unlock all of these different things, or you have to find all of the different doodads and knickknacks. And, yeah. It's just, in a lot of modern games, the collectibles and the 100%ing is just there to be there, because that's sort of the tradition. In older games, the 100%ing thing was finding all of the things that were actually relevant to the gameplay, first of all, but also that were all called the glebe gorbs for the Gimbal Bop King. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever it is, the thing. But they were also all, first of all of the little doodads and collectibles in this era of gaming. Every single one was relevant to the gameplay. Every one of them. Like, think about it. The 100%, what are you 100%ing in Zelda? In Ocarina of Time? It's mostly things like heart pieces, right? You're actually increasing your health bar. It's like gold skulltulas, which what do you get for them? Wallet upgrades, right? Or something like that? Something like that, I forget exactly. But they're actually gameplay related. It's not just, oh, you find all the things. Congratulations, you got an achievement on the Steam store. Fuck off, who cares? I often turn off achievements, really. It's just, yeah. But yeah, like, it was actually relevant to the game. Collectibles were part of unlocking something or doing something, or they were part of an objective. They were related to the game. Rather than just, yeah, let's throw those two collectibles so player can see number go up. Yeah, okay. That's fine, but it's not as enticing as it was in older games like this. But that's okay, because we'll be friends forever, won't we? I want you to have this ocarina. Please, take good care of it. I will, until I throw it in the lake and get a new one. Oh yeah, they stopped giving you useful stuff for the badges. I actually don't remember what all the rewards were for it. The fairy ocarina. Okay. Wait, I have to set it to C? Oh, Jesus. I forgot I had to set it to... Oh, I forgot there wasn't a separate button for it. Oh, God. Because there was a separate button for it in Majora's Mask, wasn't there? There was a separate ocarina button? When you play my ocarina, I hope you'll think of me and come back to the forest to visit. Yeah. Let's keep... Okay. Thanks, bye. Meow. So cool. This is such a massive area. It's incredible. It's really impressive. I mean, first of all, okay, fine. Those wall textures, not impressive. But it's really impressive that the N64 could render this whole area. It could, like, actually make this whole thing. It's huge. Hoot hoot, Link, look up here. It appears that the time had finally come for you to start your adventure. You will encounter many hardships ahead. That is your fate. Don't feel discouraged, even during the toughest times. Go straight this way, and you'll see Hyrule Castle. You will meet a princess there. If you are lost and don't know which way to go, look at the map. The areas you have explored will be shown on the map. Press blah 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 blah. Okay, got it. Did you get all that? This little trap. Yes, I did. Gotcha. All right then, I'll see you around. Hoot 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 ho! I love how they, like, kind of integrated Kapargabora into Skyward Sword. Okay, so as a Hylian and your, like, teacher. That's great. Hey, Navi. The Great Deku Tree wanted us to go and visit the princess at Hyrule Castle. Shouldn't we get going? Yeah, that's where I'm going. They just give you rupees and a rumble pack after all the good stuff. Oh! Oh, God, that's right. I forgot that a rumble pack was like something you had to unlock. God, I forgot about that. That's crazy. I also forgot that you basically cannot get to Castletown before sundown, and you had to spend the night outside. Totally forgot about that. Well, let's fight some Stallchilds. A little digging sound is great. Oh, anyway, I was talking about sound design earlier. That this game has such great sound design. Like so much of the little sound effects are just they just stick in your memory because they're so perfect for what they are. Hey, don't do that. But yeah, the sound design stuff is great in this, and what I was thinking of when I was talking about sound design earlier is that something else I just watched recently has incredible sound design, and it was the series finale of Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I just finished another rewatch of Avatar: The Last Airbender because every once in a while you just got to rewatch the series because it's just Hirokino, as they say. Excellent. But yeah, no, it's the sound design of the like comet-powered firebending in the series finale is so just brutal. It's intense in just an incredible way. It's so good. Oh yeah, the rupee sound? Oh no, the rupee sound too. Honestly, all of the little sounds and stuff are just... I need all of these, excuse me. I love how the guard just watches you do this in horror. Just in stark terror, just watches you just eliminate every single jar. I also love how they give you this whole little building to mess with. Flameo. 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 Can I do that? No. I have to shoot them. I'm not gonna bother. Hey, buddy. Man, I'm so bored. I think it would sure be more interesting if there were more troubles in the world. Hey, that's just between you and me, okay? Anyway, maybe we could let off some steam by breaking these jars. Stand near a jar and... Okay. I'd rather swing swords at them. And here I was thinking, like, oh no, the guard is going to be mad that I'm breaking all of these jars. Really? I thought the guard would be mad, but I guess not. He was bored too. Okay, so we're probably, honestly, tonight we're probably gonna, because I want to wrap up by midnight my time. Which means that I'm probably gonna end sometime in Castletown. We're gonna do some wandering around Castletown. And probably end before we get into, like, the gardens. Huh? What? Shoo, kid, shoo! Oof, oof. I'm late for a very important date. Okay. This beard is my pride and joy. It's true. Doesn't it look luxuriant, kid? It does, yes. Incredible. No, that's not a word. By the way, I adore Castletown. I love most iterations of Castletown. This one's just so joyous. It's not as big and well-peopled as a lot of later Castletowns have been. But it's just 80. Jeez. I need that. This is not worth doing, but never do that, by the way. I will maybe eventually get that Hylian shield, but I definitely don't need it yet. So, the potions. The mask salesman. My precious puppy can run faster than any of the other mutts around here. 2D backgrounds give me a headache. I don't mind. It's not too bad. I can see the issue, but it's more or less okay by me. There's a rumor going around that there's a potion shop that can make the ultimate medicine. Not this one? Don't they have a bottle? No. Can't believe it's 200 rupees for a fish. Okay, never mind. I could have sworn there was a bottle you could buy. Like, starting off easy, you know? Happy Mask Shop. What a strange shop. I wonder if it'll be open for business. I read the sign there. It still seems weird. Happy Mask Shop. Please read this sign before you use this shop. How the shop works. We do not sell masks, we lend them to you. You sell the loan masks on your own. Pay the money back for the mask, and we lend you a newer model. You can borrow masks you have already sold again. However, you can sell each model of mask only once. Okay, can I buy one? No, okay. Not yet. Oh, the other one does once you grow up. Okay, that makes sense. I knew there was one somewhere. The archery shop. Let's go check this out. Is this a minigame one? Yeah, this is a minigame. The shooting gallery. Can I mess with my controls? No. I'm trying to turn off look invert, because I hate look invert. Alright, well, let's save, because we haven't in a little while. Alright, let's go for it. You wanna play a game? 20 rupees. Okay, it's a great game for grown-ups. Oh, jeez, come on. Oh, jeez. Alright. There we go. Missed one. That one. Frick. Hate this. Got it. Okay. That's it. Okay, too bad. Practice hard and come back. Yeah, let's go. I could save stuff, but I'm not going to do that. That's dumb. For something like this. Darn. Okay. Screwed up. Almost! Well, alright. One more time for free. Okay, cool. Okay. Heck! Ah! It's also way too sensitive. Alright, I'm gonna do this later, and maybe if I figure out how to turn off look invert, I just spent 40 rupees doing that. That was... okay. Please, with C, sell me something. I don't have anything to sell really.
Who heard the legend of the shadow folk? They are the Sheikah, the shadows of the Hylians. They say they swore allegiance to the King of Hyrule and guarded the royal family. But with the long peace, no one has seen a Sheikah around here for a long time. However, I heard there is one Sheikah woman living in the castle.
Cool. Is this the Bumchu bowling alley? Yeah, it is. I can't do anything with this yet. Oh well, talk to the sleeping lady. Oh, I'm sorry, we're not open for business yet. Please come back soon. Okay. I do absolutely love the basically returning NPCs. Like, all these people come back. Or no, don't come back. They have their Termina versions. Their inverted backwards versions. Really cool. I need to go talk to that guy. I'm gonna go talk to him. I can't just go up there, can I? I can't just do it from the ground. You know about the Temple of Time that we have in the northeast part of town? Legends say that the Temple of Time is the entrance to the Sacred Realm. Did you know that? Why would that be such common knowledge? Anyway. They say we Hylians have big ears in order to hear the voices of the gods, but I've never heard them. That's it? Okay, that's what I came up here for? Alright. With this. Treasure chest contest. Temporarily closed. Open tonight. Oh, open at night. Oh, gosh, that's right. I forget how to get in here at night. It's a nighttime only thing. Alright. Don't I need, like, Song of Storms or something? I thought I might need a song for this. Hey, what? What's wrong with loitering around all day? Huh, kid? Okay, okay. Don't mug me. Strange, this door doesn't open. Ride the gate. Really? You can do that? I don't know if I've ever done that. In all the times I've played this game, I didn't know if I've ever done that. It seems strange that packs of dogs roam our streets at night. Doesn't that seem weird to you? Yeah, it seems weird that you're just standing in an alley, too, but whatever. I'm sure it's fine. You're not up to anything or anything. Not up to something. You're not waiting for trouble. Hey, Sonny, I'll tell you something helpful. I heard there's a mysterious fountain somewhere near the castle. Okay, thanks, I guess. You can get money that way. I had no idea. I don't know if I've ever done that. Like I said, I played through this entire game probably like half a dozen times. I can't believe I've never done that. Okay, well, apparently no one lives here, so... That's weird. Strange, this door doesn't open. It's locked? What? What? Somebody locking their door? That's very strange. It's utterly sketchy. Let's go check out the Temple of Time, I guess. Why not? Free money. This statue's one-eyed gaze pierces into your mind. Boing boing, the time is 7:39. No, it's not. You're lying to me. Man, the locked perspective. Maybe it's the 2D backgrounds. For me, I think it's the locked perspectives that trip me out a little bit. Gorgeous. There are 3 hollows and an inscription here. Ye who owns 3 spiritual stones, stand with the Ocarina of Time and play the Song of Time. That is how the inscription reads. Alright, well, we need 2 more stones, and we need the Ocarina of Time, and we need to learn the Song of Time. So we'll do all of that. Soonish. Not yet. Music's loud. Well, you know, it is the Temple of Time, so it's going to be loud. All right. All right. So let me... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to save right here. This is good. This is good enough. I got to get going. So that'll be a bit for now. It's too louder, Jesus, really. That'll be it for now. I've got to get going. So... All right. I gotta get going. So, thank you all for joining me. Had a wonderful time. Hope you are looking forward to joining me again in the future. I'm going to be continuing. It looks like for now I'm just going to be playing this game, and then moving on to Majora's Mask, and then maybe Wind Waker. I don't know. I have an emulator for Wind Waker, so I might do it. But otherwise, I'm looking forward to continuing this game with you guys. One of the best games of all time. Certainly one of my favorites. So thank you all so much for joining me. I will see you all next time. And remember, don't be safe. Be well, and more importantly, be good. Good night, folks.